Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today we have something a little bit different. If you're watching this episode from YouTube, you can see that I'm in the couch, something that I don't normally do. I'm usually sitting down on the table right there. But today I wanted to make this podcast a little bit more informal. I want it to be more like a chit chat with you guys. I want to feel like I'm talking to my friends, you guys, and I just don't want to feel like, I'm talking about a specific topic like training, nutrition, anything like that. I don't have anything prepared for this. I don't really have a structure that I'm going to follow for this podcast, which is something usually I do when I record a podcast. And the reason why, it's because today it's my 1 year anniversary with my business. So this day last year was when I left my job that I was working there for about 3 years, and I made a decision to go full-time with online coaching, a decision that I do not regret at all. So this podcast is going to be talking about that, talking about that decision that I made 12 months ago, talking about everything that has happened in those 12 months, talking about more like the behind the scenes of running my own business. And obviously everything that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, it's all about my personal experience. I'm not talking about anyone else. I'm not talking about anything else. It's all just my experience, the things that I've done. And maybe this can inspire you if you are thinking about running your own business, if you really want to get started with your own thing, and maybe you have really been thinking about it for way too long. This might be your sign, or this might be that little push, that little motivation that you may need to help you with that. So I think I'm gonna get started first talking about the reasons why, the motivation about me getting started with my own business. I will share some of the challenges, and at the end, I think I will share, where I am right now and the goals that I have for the future. Make yourself comfortable, because I am definitely making myself very comfortable. I've got my water right here. And yeah, let's see. Okay, so it's been literally 12 months, exactly 12 months since I left my job. And I still remember that last day at the office. It was such a crazy day because I was feeling so excited to leave that company, not because I hated it, but just leave somewhere that, I didn't feel 100% comfortable to me. And I was just happy to get started with my own team, to reach my goals, to get started with my business. I was very excited about that. But at the same time, I was so freaking scared. Like, you have no idea how scared I was, because I just knew I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was going to happen the following week. I didn't know how I was going to schedule my week. I didn't know what things I needed to do. I just didn't know how I was going to keep myself busy. In my mind, I was like, what if I'm just like sitting at home doing nothing? Like, what things should I be doing? What things I shouldn't be doing? I don't want to waste time. At the same time, I have nothing to do. And there was just like too many thoughts running in my mind. I always had a lot of self-doubt, like so much self-doubt. If I put it into numbers, like 1 to 10, 10 being very high and 1 being very low, I would say my one's like 100, like literally 100. So much self-doubt, so much anxiety, so much stress, because you're going to a complete different world. You go from being in a very stable income, you go from being in a very stable position, you feel like very comfortable there. You don't really have to push yourself too much, if you know what I mean. You don't really have to worry too much about finances, because again, you're getting that stable income every single month. You know exactly how much money you're getting paid, exactly how much money you can spend, all the things that we are used to, which is normal. But now you go into this new different world of not knowing how much money you're gonna get paid every single month or every week, not knowing if this is gonna work out, not knowing what's gonna happen, not knowing what things you're gonna be doing, not knowing what to expect, not knowing how you're gonna feel, just too many emotions running through my mind. But I just knew I had to make it happen. And I started with the idea of running my own business back in 2021, I'll say. Yeah, around 2021, it was during COVID time. And that's when I started to do coaching. But it was more like just for fun, casual, just for fun, doing programs for people, for friends. I was doing Zoom classes because during COVID, we couldn't do anything. And I was like, I need to do something with my time. Otherwise, I'm going to go crazy, because I'm not going to the gym and I'm just going to be crazy, not doing anything at all. And that's when I started running online classes. So I would just post it on my Instagram, and then people would join, and I would do like a 30 minutes or 45 minutes Zoom class. And this was my first ever time teaching to a group of 10 people, 15 people, sometimes 5 people. It was my first time teaching in front of people, which it was something that I was a little bit scared, but I think because it's something that I know and I felt very confident doing, the exercises and all of that, I was pretty okay. Like, I was pretty impressed by the work that I was doing. Obviously, it wasn't perfect, but I think I was very proud of not being, letting my personality, which I'm an introvert, letting my personality hold me back. And I was just doing those things because I knew that was going to help me, and I knew that was going to help other women who were feeling stuck and that wanting to also go to the gym. So that's how everything started. So everything started by Zoom. Then we went to the boot camps, which were at the park. I think at that time you were only allowed to have 10 people in the boot camp. So it started with 10 people, and then it was growing and growing and growing. And then when we were able to go back to our full-time job, like go to the office, I was still working there, but I was doing meal plans, training programs, the whole coaching, just part-time. I wasn't doing it full-time. But then, around that time, I was like, I need to do something with this. Like, this is something that I'm truly passionate about. I really like the way I'm transforming lives. I really like I really like how much this can help someone. Like, how can I make this work? How can I make this my full-time job? And that's when I started with the idea, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I started creating videos. I started creating more content for my social media. I started to, getting more ideas here and there, how to structure the business. Obviously, not knowing what I was doing, but in my mind, I was just trying my best. And that's when I was decided, okay, I'm gonna start with this, keep pushing. And I was working full-time, doing this part-time. But taking a little pause, something that I knew from when I was very, very young is that one day I was going to run my own business. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I just knew that the idea of working for someone else didn't work for me. I've been working for someone else for the past maybe 10 years. I would say maybe 10 years. I was working in retail. I was working at a hairdresser salon, making coffees, cleaning the space. I was working at Ticketmaster, so mainly like customer service roles. And then my last job, which was more like, I'll say like marketing, something like that. So I just knew that I didn't want to see myself when I was 30, 40, 50, 60 working for someone else. I just knew that one day I was going to make this decision, and I was going to start with my own business. Again, I didn't know how, I didn't know when, I just didn't know anything. I just knew that one day it was going to happen. And 2021 was when that idea started. I was slowly working on this, like very slow, getting more experience. And then by 2023, last year, that's when I was like, okay, if I want to make this work, I need to do this full time. Otherwise, it's just going to be me trying to do too many things at once, working for someone else and then just giving this much time to my business, which is nothing. And I was like, why would I do that to myself? If I want to do this and grow this business, I have to make sure that I give it my 100%. It's not fair that I give my time, my effort, my everything to someone else, make money to someone else. And it's not really impacting lives. It's not really helping too many people. I'm not really making a difference by working here. So I made that decision, which was a very challenging decision because in my mind, I was like, okay, should I go full-time straight away? Should I maybe go part-time in this job? So the full-time job working for a company, and then slowly, gradually go full-time. Like, what should I do? There was just too many debates, too many conversations with myself about this topic. But I was like, no, if you don't give your 100%, you're simply not gonna do a good job. You're simply not gonna give it your all, and this is just simply not gonna work. So it's now or never. So I gave my resignation to my manager, I think about 6 weeks before I left the job, because I was like, I want to give them plenty of time so they can find someone else. And I remember when I had that call with my manager, I don't know why, but I was so nervous. I was so freaking nervous, really, really nervous. And we jumped on a Zoom call and I was like, I need to talk to you. I was almost crying in tears. Why? Maybe because I was scared. I don't know. Not scared about what she was going to say, but scared to know that the idea of leaving that company and doing this full time was coming very, very close. So I think that was very, very scary. And then I told her about, look, I'm gonna be running my own business, so I'm gonna be quitting. I'm gonna give you guys my resignation, blah, blah, all that conversation. She's like, I'm so happy for you because I know you're gonna make it work. And I know that you're gonna be so successful at this. So I'm happy for you because I knew that the last couple of weeks you were not feeling your best, and I could see that. And I think because, there was just too many emotions going on. But fast forward to that day that I left the company. I remember I had so many questions from people, my colleagues, people there, and they're like, what's your plan B? What if this doesn't work out? And I was like, what do you mean, what if it doesn't work out? Yes, obviously I had that self-doubt, and I still have it every now and then, but I just knew that I was gonna make it work out. I didn't, and I still don't have a plan B. This is literally my only plan. I wanna make it work. And I think that's the difference. When people have a plan A, and then a plan B when they start their own business, I think unconsciously, subconsciously, they're already telling themselves if this doesn't work, so I'm gonna fail at this, then I'm gonna try that. But I feel like if you're already programming your brain to think like that, or to have that second option, straight away you're already telling yourself that you're gonna fail. And subconsciously, you're not gonna give you 100%. And you're always gonna have that the self-doubt is gonna be much, much higher compared to someone that only has a plan A, and that is gonna make it work. So I will just say that to everyone that will ask me, like, what if this doesn't work out? And I was like, I'm gonna make it work out. Like, I don't care how long it takes me. I don't care if it takes me 1 year, 2 years, 20 years. I just know that this is the only thing that I wanna do. And this is the thing that I wanna focus on and make it grow and make it happen. So that's exactly what I did. And then that first day, I think that was Friday when I left my job. 24th of March last year, 2023 was a Friday. So then that weekend I was like, okay, now this is coming to a reality. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And then that first Monday, I was like, okay, let's do it. I sit down, woke up the same as I was wake up the same time. If I was gonna go to the office, went to the gym in the morning, which was my routine as always. Come home, take a shower, eat something, and then sit down in my laptop, my computer, take my computer out, and then be like, okay, let's see how we're gonna do this. Just like schedule my thing, randomly schedule my calendar, and I was like, okay, from this time to this time, I wanna do some content, I wanna reply to clients, I wanna do this, like blah blah, just structure in the way that I thought was gonna work for me. Every single week I was changing things to see what was gonna work, what wasn't gonna work. But as the time went on, my anxiety levels just kept like growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. My stress was getting so high. The self-doubt was getting so high. I was feeling so nervous. Like, there was just too many things going on. And I reached a point that I was feeling physically sick, like literally physically sick. I will wake up, I will feel like really dizzy, very nauseous, like those symptoms that you have when you're pregnant. Like, even I thought like maybe I'm pregnant, but I was not pregnant. I was like, something is not right here. Like, I just feel something. I feel something. Like, every time you get that feeling, like that anxiety, I don't know how to describe it, but that feeling that you get on your chest. And I was like, there's something going on. Like, this is not right. Like, I need to do something about this. This is just, it's getting too much. And I don't want to reach that point that I push myself too much to the extent that it's going to become unhealthy, and then it's going to affect my health. And that was around the time, so that happened for about 3 months, I say roughly 3 months. And that was about the time when I decided maybe it's time for me to work with a business coach. I clearly have no idea what I'm doing. I clearly don't know how to structure my days. I clearly don't know just what I'm doing. Like, literally, I don't know what I'm doing. So that's how I randomly, I think God sent this person to my life. Like, that's how I randomly found my now online business coach online. I was just scrolling on Instagram, and you know what? When you talk to your phone and you talk about like business coaching, this and that, like those things will show on your feed, on your phone, sorry. And that's how I came across his page. I went to his page. Yep, this looks really good content. I started listening to his podcast, just learning, getting so much value just from his Instagram alone. And then I decided to, you know what, let's book a call and see how this guy can help me. We booked that call, and I was literally sold on that call. He asked me what's happening, challenges, all the things that they ask you. And then he told me how it's going to work. He told me the price. And for some reason, I think I was in so much pain. And by pain, I mean, like, I think I was struggling so much. And I knew this was affecting me too much that I was just willing to invest all I had, any amount, because I really wanted to make this work. I really wanted to have that structure. I really didn't want to feel that anxiety, those stress levels anymore. So he told me the price. That was pretty much all the money I had saved. And I was like, you know what? If I know I want to make this work, I know I want to get this money back. So as much as I don't want to make that payment right now, if I don't do it now, it's simply never going to happen. And I'm going to keep feeling stuck. I'm going to keep feeling all the emotions that I'm feeling right now. So I made that investment. Then the next day when I checked my account, I was like, fuck, why did I just do? Literally, my bank account is not like me right now. Like, there's not much money right there. But that's okay. I was like, Danny, just remember, one day you're going to be so happy and so grateful that you made that decision. I know that right now you're feeling so anxious, and I know that probably right now you want to quit, you want to get your refund from the coach. But I also know, like, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So you just have to make it work. And that's exactly what I did. 3 months into the program with him, so 3 months later, so 6 months to my business, I changed a lot of things. The first month just working with him, I changed a lot of things. I changed the structure of my business. I changed the things that I was doing, how I was communicating with people, something that I didn't know before. Obviously, you know how to communicate with people, but there are ways that you as a coach should be communicating with people to ensure that your clients are getting the best results. And that's something that I was not doing. So many things that I was just not aware of, that again I had no idea about, because it was my first ever time running my own business, but I just knew I was gonna make it work. We made the changes. I started working on things that I was lacking, working on things that I knew were gonna help me. And yeah, it's been how many months? It's been 12 months now, so 1 year exactly. And I'm so happy where I am right now. I still think I still have a lot of work to do, like so much work to do. I'm very proud of the progress that I have made so far, yes, but there is still work to do. There are still skills I need to work on, skills that I need to improve on, which I'm aware of, and I'm slowly practicing, because I don't think nothing changes overnight. Learning those skills or gaining those skills, getting that knowledge takes a lot of time and a lot of practice, because having that knowledge is one thing. Being aware of that thing that you're lacking is one thing. But putting things into practice and actually making the effort to change that thing is another thing. So I have to make sure that I'm doing that. I just feel like every time I tell my clients to do something, or if I expect them to do something, I cannot tell them to do that thing if I'm not the one doing that thing, if that makes sense. I always feel like if I say something, I have to do that thing. I cannot just tell something and then be a hypocrite and do something else. That's just the way I see things, and that's the way I work. But yeah, 12 months later, very happy, very, I would say stable. Not 100% stable, but much better than I was 12 months ago, which it was crazy. There were too many ups and downs. It's still so many weeks that are up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. But I think you get better at working on those emotions, because at the beginning, I would get so upset about everything. Literally so upset every time a client will cancel, every time someone that had booked a call will cancel, every time something happened. I used to take everything so personal, like way too personal. And obviously, if you want to grow and expand your business, taking things personal is not going to help you at all. And that's a thing that we're working on, still working on that, but I think it's getting much better. Sometimes it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with different things. And that's something that it was a big challenge for me, and that took me a lot of time to maybe change up here. But I'm proud to say that I'm still working on that. I think some of the other challenges that I had were maybe me as a coach just wanting too much for some clients, and then those clients not wanting that thing for themselves. And that can be very upsetting, because I truly want to help people. And I know that many coaches tell you this, like, yeah, I want to help people, I want to do this, but also many coaches, they just want the money. But with coaches like me, and I can say this very proudly, I truly care about transforming lives. I truly care about making that impact, because I know, from the past 12 months doing this full time, working with different women, I know how much this can impact them, how much this can impact their lives, their confidence, their work, their relationship, literally everything. And I know how much, if they truly put in the work and the effort, they will get the results and they're going to change their life. So I just knew that them making that change, it was going to be a change of their lives, but them not wanting to make that change for themselves and me wanting to make that change more for them, it just drains you so much. It takes so much from your own energy. It takes a lot from your time, and you get a little bit disappointed, because you feel like you've tried everything but you're not able to help this person. But then you have to accept that there's only so much you can do. And again, that was another big challenge for me, because it took me a lot of time to realize this, I can only do this much. Up to here, this is all I can do. From here to there, so from this line to the other side, it's up to that person, up to that client. As much as I want to help them, I cannot do everything for them. As much as I want to help them, I cannot go to their house and cook their meals and take them to the gym, do all those basic things. If that person doesn't want it bad enough, I cannot cross that line. I've done my best, I've tried all my tools, I've tried my everything. It's also, they have to take responsibility for that. And that was a big challenge for me. And it's something that I think now I have learned and I have managed. I'm managing much better than before. And again, it's a challenge, just like any other challenges. Some of the other challenges that I face in my business, I think, and probably just one of the main ones, is that me personally, if I work with a coach or if I work just with anyone, anything, any business, anything that I do, me personally, I respect that business or I respect that person. Even if I don't want to continue with that person, or with that business, with that product, with that thing, I have to make sure that I still respect them, because that person is running that business. That person is putting the time and effort into this. That person is trying my best to help me with their product or whatever they're offering. So if I don't want to continue with that product, I make sure that I make my payments until the end, I have a good relationship, like nothing bad. If I end something, I try my best to part ways as friends, even if the thing didn't work out. But I think that's just showing respect for that person. That's just me as a person. So because I'm this way and I have these values, I expect the same from everyone else. But I think that's not always the case. As much as you expect that from someone else, it doesn't mean that it's gonna work like that. So when people let you down, that was another thing that was I think it was really painful, because I just felt like, how can you do that? Like, how can you disrespect me and my business so much? I'm probably making this sound like so dramatic, but it just hurts. It just hurts when you put so much time and effort into someone, trying to help them, trying your best, and they just don't do the things that they're meant to do. And by this, I mean like their payments. When they're meant to pay, they just go to you. They don't pay anything. And I think the fact that my business is so small right now, I don't really have a big, huge name, or it's a big company that if you don't do this, I'm going to chase you, blah, blah. It's not like that yet. So I think it's easier for people to take you for granted or disrespect you, which again, it's annoying, but there's only so much I can do. And I think the big challenge from that was, again, realizing there's only so much you can do. If I spend my time and energy on that, it's simply going to affect me more, because I'm going to be wasting more of my time and energy, and I can be putting that into someone else or into something else. So that was another big challenge. I'm still working on that, but again, slowly improving. Another one of the challenges were just having that self-doubt. As much as I say that I know I'm gonna make this work, and I knew from the one I was gonna make this work, that self-doubt is always gonna be there. Especially on those weeks or those days that you just feel like down here. That self-doubt sometimes, well, it used to, not anymore, but it used to take over. And it used to really make me feel like shit, like literally like shit. I would just be so upset, so moody, so grumpy. I will just not be a nice person with my mom or with my partner, with my sister. Not because I was mean, but I felt so low, and I just didn't believe in myself. And that really impacted my life so much. And I think mainly my relationships, but mainly the relationship that I have with myself, because there's just too many thoughts running in your mind, and you see so many things, you start predicting about the future, things that haven't even happened. But because that self-doubt is so high, your mind is just like processing thoughts in a very fast speed, and you're creating too many ideas, which are not true, but in your mind they are. And when you visualize that, it just makes you feel like shit. But again, it's something that we're still working on. I don't think it's ever gonna be 100% like, yeah, I'm here, I'm never gonna have that self-doubt. I think having that self-doubt is healthy, because it pushes you a little bit, but when it gets too much and when it starts controlling you, that's when it becomes unhealthy. And that's when we need to start doing something about it. So that was, yes, again, another main challenge that I used to have. Another challenge that I have for my business, I'm trying to think. Okay, another one is just doing everything by myself. So right now I'm at this stage that I'm still working just by myself. There's no one else on my team. It's just me doing literally everything. And that can sometimes get a little bit too much, because I'm the one recording the videos. I'm the one editing the videos. I'm the one putting the content. I'm the one talking to everyone. I'm the one doing all the programs. I'm the one replying to all the emails or messages. I'm the one replying to, just doing everything, which I'm not complaining about, but it can get a lot. And I feel like this is probably one of the reasons why people give up so fast, because they feel like they're putting so much work and effort into this, and they're not really seeing the business grow to the speed that they want to see it grow. And it's exactly the same with the fitness journey. And that's why I compare my business to my fitness journey so much. And it's because with your fitness journey, when you start, you don't really see the results too much. 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, even 1 year, 2 years later, you might not see the changes that you want to see. But the more you do this, the more time and effort you put into this, the more consistent you are with this, slowly you're going to see the fruit of your hard work. So that patience that I have learned from my from my fitness journey, especially my bodybuilding journey, it's the same patience that I'm trying to apply here to my business. It's the same consistency that I'm trying to apply here to my business. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but I'm so happy to do that. I'm not complaining. I just feel like that's probably one of the reasons why people give up so fast and why people think this is not working. Let me just try something else, or let me go back to a 9 to 5. But I know for me, that's just not an option. There's no way on earth I want to go back to working for someone else. There's just no way. I think once you start working for yourself, and I'm sure many of your friends or people, relatives that you know that work for themselves probably tell you this, like once you go work for yourself, full time working for yourself, you just cannot go back working for someone else. You cannot go back to that office, them telling you from this time to this time, you can take your lunch break. You only have 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You need to be here at this time. You need to finish at 5 p.m. Yeah, for me, that just doesn't work. I like to be my own boss. I don't like people bossing me around. I feel like I'm pretty bossy myself. So if someone else bossing me around, it just doesn't work. We clash. So yeah, I would say that's another challenge that I'm having right now, but it's a good challenge to have because that means I need to start thinking about hiring someone else in my team, which is the next steps for my business. Hiring someone in my team, we're gonna get started. Someone, I think, first helping me with my content. So mainly editing videos and posting that content because that takes a lot of time. Next step is gonna be hiring a new coach in my team so they can help me with everything else. And slowly, we're gonna start growing, which it's something that I'm pretty excited about. But let's not talk about just yet. Let's not talk about that just yet. We're talking about the challenges. So yeah, I think that's another challenge. Another challenge that I can think of from the top of my head right now is that because you're spending so much time and effort into this can sometimes maybe affect your relationships a little bit. And by this I mean, because my business is my baby, I want to put all my time and effort into this. And I've realized that the past 12 months I've become more of an introvert. I really don't want to go out too much. I really don't want to be spending my time doing things that I know are not really going to help me grow, which means I'm not really doing too much, going out with friends. Not that I go clubbing, but just going out maybe for a coffee or something like that, or going to a restaurant for lunch and dinner. Those are things that I was doing before when I was working for someone else because I didn't have that responsibility. But now that I do, I'm really careful with how I spend my time and with who I spend my time with, because I truly believe like you are like the 5 people you surround yourself with. So I want to make sure that I surround myself with people that are also very goal driven, with people that are very business minded, people that are they push themselves out of the comfort zone, someone that is in that next level, because I want to make sure that I want to learn from them. Someone that works hard, doesn't matter what they do, but just someone that works hard, someone that is positive, someone that just doesn't complain too much. People like that just drain my energy, and I don't want that around me. So I think because of that, for me, it has affected my relationships a little bit. Not because, just because mainly I don't want to do too many things. If you ask me to do something, I might say yes, I might say no. Again, it depends how I invest that energy. But I think because I love what I'm doing so much, I want to spend most of my time in my energy on this, on nothing else, literally nothing else. And that can sometimes be in conflict. The main people that I spend my time with are literally just my partner, my mom, my sister, my dad, my family. I see them every now and then, like my uncles, my cousins, just because everyone is busy. But I don't really see my friends too much. But that's a choice I made for myself. It's not because nothing happened. There's no drama or anything like that. But that's just a decision I made for myself. And I feel like if I really want to make this work, I have to be willing to put this time and effort into this. Otherwise, it's gonna be, it's gonna get messy, and I don't want that. I want things to be the way I want them to be. See, as you can see, I'm pretty bossy. So I just want things to be the way I want it to be, and I just know that putting this time and effort now, it's gonna be much easier for me in the future when I have more people in my team. But for now, I like that. So I will say those I don't know how many challenges I told you, but I would say those things, maybe 3 or 4 things, are the main challenges that I have right now, something that I faced in the past. And I know for sure there's gonna be more challenges coming up. Every single day, there's gonna be many things, and that's okay because you learn so much from those challenges. You learn so many things from those setbacks, and that just helps you to be stronger. Again, it's the same thing with your fitness journey. Not every single day is going to be perfect. Not every single week is going to be perfect. Not every single month is going to be perfect. But as long as you learn from those challenges and as long as you overcome those setbacks, that's when you learn. That's when you grow. That's when you become stronger. And that's when you keep pushing to help you reach that goal. Whether you want to have a healthy lifestyle, build that muscle mass, whatever your goal is. But it just having that resilience is what helps you move forward and ensure that you don't take those steps back. So we've talked about the motivation of why I started with my business. We've talked about the challenges. Now let's talk about the future, what I'm doing right now. So right now, the goal that I have, and if you've been following me for a long time, you'll probably know this, but my goal for this year, and the reason why I set this goal for myself is because, number one, I know it's realistic. Number two, I really want to show you guys that when you put your mind in spirit and soul and everything into something, you can make it work 100%. I feel like I'm just so sick and tired of people complaining and saying this is too hard, this is too much, like da blah. If you want to make something work, you can make it work. Obviously being realistic, but if you want to make it work, you can make it work. If you complain too much, it's just because either you're scared, maybe you think you're gonna fail, or you just simply don't want to do the thing, or you simply don't want to put in the work and effort. So I just want to show you that we can make it happen. And also because I truly want to transform lives. I truly want to change people's life because I know how much fitness has helped me. I know how much fitness is helping my clients, and I know how much this can help many more women. So my goal is to help 100 women by the end of this year, 2024. So this year, 2024. By the end of this year, 2024, help 100 women to transform their lives with fitness by being in my program because I know we can make it happen. We're gonna make it happen 100%. And so far, we are on track. It's already month 3 of this month, March. I have already helped 21 women transform their lives. And the reason why I say I already help, even though are people that are just joining my program, it's because when someone joins my program, I give them my 100%. And I know that that person is gonna, if they put in the work and effort, of course, if they do that, they're gonna transform their lives and they're gonna get amazing results. I'm so positive and so sure about my work and the things that I do. And I know that with my help and with their effort combined, success, we're gonna make it happen. I'm not saying this just to say it, but I think if I'm not confident about my business, if I'm not confident about myself, then what's the point of even having something? I'm pretty confident, pretty happy with what I do, and I know what I've done, it's helping, what I'm doing is helping so many women. So that's the goal for the end of this year. So 21 lives transformed already. It's March 2024. We still have 79 lives to transform, but we have plenty of time to do that. And I know I'm gonna make it happen. I know I'm gonna reach my goal, and I know I'm gonna prove you guys that point that if you put your mind into something, you can simply make it happen. The focus for me right now as well, it's one, doing that, reaching this goal. Second thing, making sure that my clients are getting amazing results, making sure that my clients are feeling supported, making sure that my clients are feeling loved, making sure that they feel that they're part of something. Because so many clients, when they come to me, before they join my program, they often tell me, I used to work with a different coach, but I used to feel that I was just a number. I used to feel that, I wasn't really part of that community. I used to feel that they just wanted my money. And sadly, it's so sad to say this, and not just in this business, online coaching, online fitness coach, but I think in any other business, people that don't do this because they truly love it, they probably they want they want the money. Because nowadays, online coaching has become so popular. And I think so many people want to do this. They want to do online coach, become an full-time online coach, not for the right reasons. They just think that if you become an online coach, you're gonna get so much money straight away. You're gonna buy the Ferrari, you're gonna buy the Lamborghini, all the things the beautiful things that you see in social media. But that's not it's not like that. We know that social media is just a highlight reel, highlight of things that people do. But If you want to grow, if you want to get to that success, if you want to buy the Ferrari, whatever, you have to put in the work. It doesn't matter how pretty they make it look on social media. If you don't put in the work, you'll simply never reach your goals. If you put in the work, you're simply not going to get that thing. And that's why I believe that social media sometimes can be a little bit unhealthy. I think it can be extremely beneficial. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here with you guys talking about this topic right now. I think there's so many amazing things in social media, but at the same time, it's so easy to compare ourselves to something or someone else, because we see that highlight, we see that end goal, we see them being so successful, but we don't really see, how long it took them to get there. We don't really see all the challenge that they face, all the struggles that they had to help before they got there. So yeah, social media, it's good if you make it work for yourself, but if it becomes unhealthy, just like anything becomes unhealthy. And just another challenge that came to my mind, just quickly going back to the challenges, another big challenge that I used to have is that I used to compare myself so much to other coaches. It's so easy to do that, especially when you're just first getting started, because you look at other coaches and you see how successful they're being with everything. And you ask yourself, how? We started running our business, around the same time. Why is this person more successful? Why is this person doing so well? Why am I not doing so well? And sometimes you cannot help it, but you just compare yourself so much to other coaches, to other business owners, to other people on social media, and it just became for me a little bit unhealthy. But I had to every time wake myself up and be like, come on, that's just social media. You need to come back to the present moment, and you need to focus on yourself. If you keep focusing on those people, you're simply gonna be giving your energy to them, and that's gonna be very unhealthy. Why don't you change that narrative that you have in your brain? And instead of you telling yourself, why them, why not me, why they're doing this, that why question, why don't you change that narrative? And why don't you use those people as your motivation? Because if they can do it, you can do it. If they teach you, if they're telling you they've done this, they have achieved this amazing success, you can also do it. So change that. Don't look at them don't be jealous. Don't compare yourself. Look up to them. See them as your motivation. Use them to help you work harder. Those are things that I used to tell myself. I still have to tell myself every now and then with that. Those feelings come back to me, but again, it's a work in progress. So many things are work in progress that we just have to work on. But yeah, I will say those are the main things that I'm working on right now. Just making sure that I provide the best service that I can to my clients, because I feel like they start this journey with me because they truly believe that I can help them. So I want to make sure that we make that change. I want to make sure that we do everything that we can, everything that is in our control to make that happen. And I just love doing this so much. If you ask me, do you regret starting your own business? No. Do you regret becoming an online coach? No. I love it. I love it so much. And I feel like you can see it in my passion, maybe in my social media. I know that my clients tell me this. I can see you're so passionate. And it's because I am. And I'm so happy that I'm doing this. I'm so happy. I feel like I'm so, what's the word? I forgot the English word. I'm so, not grateful, but I guess maybe lucky that I'm living my dreams. I guess maybe lucky that I'm able to do this thing, because I know not everyone is in the position to do this. And I think maybe one of the reasons why people are not in the position, it's not because of finances, because you don't need money to get started, literally you don't, but it's more because of that self-doubt. It's more because of that fear, that that wall that we put in front of us, that many times can hold us back, because we think too much, we have too much of that self-doubt, and we let that control us and hold us back, and we don't progress, or we don't do that thing. But something that I've learned is that success leaves clues. And I also know that failure leaves clues. And every time you watch videos on TikTok or YouTube, or of people interviewing older people, people that are 80, 90, 70 something, and they always ask them, what's something that you regret that you didn't do when you were younger? What's something that you wish you did when you were younger? And so many of them say, I wish I started with my own business. I wish I didn't work for someone else and did my own thing. But I had so much self-doubt. I thought that I was going to fail. So I don't want that to happen to me. And that's why I say failure leaves clues, because we want to learn from those failures. If someone else can teach us something, I want to learn that. I want to get all that information, gather all that information and learn that myself, because I don't want to keep making the same mistake that so many people, we see it over and over again, they keep making every single time. I don't want to look back when I'm 18, 90, if I live until I don't know, 97, and be like, I wish I did that thing. I don't want that. I want to make sure that I do everything I can now, everything that is under my control, to ensure that I keep achieving my goals, because there's no impossible. The word itself says there's no impossible. You make it impossible because you want to make it happen. And another really big goal of mine that I didn't share with you guys is that next year, January 2025, I'm going to be going to the UK. And see, I already say I'm going to be going because I know I'm going to make it happen. Next year, January 2025, I'm going to be going to the UK. That's where my business coach, it's based. That's where they have workshops every 3-4 months roughly. And I'm going to be going there next year. And I'm going to be on that stage talking to everyone about how I was able to reach my goal, how I was able to help those 100 women, how I was able to keep scaling my business, because that's exactly what I want. Scale. And the main thing is, I think another thing that really helps me with this, that I truly believe it helps me with this, it's having that visualization. I can never pronounce that word. Visualization of yourself achieving that goal. Because if you don't have that, it's gonna be much harder for you to believe that you can do it. But if you have it and you like literally close your eyes and see it and believe it, like I can even see the clothes that I'm wearing. I can even see the shoes that I'm wearing. I can even see the way that I'm talking, that I'm speaking. As you can see, I really talk with my hands. I can really see everything. And every time I think about that day, which I know is gonna happen, it makes me so happy. It makes me so excited. It makes me so emotional, because I can be a crybaby, and it makes me feel like, it's a scary feeling, but at the same time, it's such a nice feeling knowing that you're gonna achieve your goals. And yeah, so I'm gonna be posting that video here next year, so you guys can watch it. So you have to wait a few more months, but you're gonna watch that video. I can guarantee that 100%. But that's pretty much a little bit more about the behind the scenes of running your own business. If I can give you one piece of advice, if there's anything that I think from my journey that probably you can use and hopefully it can help you. If you have that idea, if you really want to get started with that thing, if you've been thinking about this for a very long time now, do it. Literally do it. There's no such a thing as the perfect time. There's no such a thing as, I'll get started once I get more money, or once I have more experience, once I have this or that. Stop with those excuses and just get started. And you're probably gonna say, like, come on, Dan, like, it's so easy for you to say that because you don't have kids, you don't have big responsibilities, you're not a mom, you don't have a full-time job, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Yes, maybe I'm not a mom, maybe I don't have those responsibilities. But whether you have them or not, if you want to make something, you have to make it happen. If that perfect time, it's same thing with fitness. That perfect time to get started with your fitness journey, it's simply never going to happen. Your life is always going to be busy. Your life is always going to be up and down. You're always going to have things going on. You cannot put your life on hold just to get started with your fitness journey. So it's exactly the same thing with your business. If you have that idea and you know you want to make it happen and you know you're going to make it work. Sometimes things don't happen because they happen. They happen because you make it work. So if you want that, take that deep breath. Stop thinking too much. Stop overthinking too much and just make it happen. You can plan all you want. You can be planning for days, weeks, months, years, but all that planning is going to be nothing if you don't take that action. So if you want to make that thing happen, take the action. And when you take that action, don't just tell to yourself like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, whatever, at least I tried. If you go in there with that mindset, again, you're already telling yourself that you're going to fail. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, at least I try. That mindset is just telling you that you're going to fail. And you probably have that mindset because you're used to that. You tell yourself that all the time. Whenever you try something new, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Change that. You can make it happen. You need to start believing in yourself a little bit more. You need to put in that work a little bit more. Don't be scared to fail. Because if you fail, it's fine. I failed so many times, but just because I'm failing doesn't mean that I'm quitting. Failure is one thing, giving up is something else. I don't want to give up. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep failing. Yes. And I'm going to keep coming back, trying new things, becoming more resilient. But I'm not going to let this make me give up. I'm not going to let this hold me back, because that's just not who I am. And if you want this thing, just do it. Honestly, just do it, and make sure to like this video if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna stop overthinking, if you're gonna finally do that thing that you have been wanting to do for a long time. Again, there's no perfect time, there's no perfect moment, there's no perfect nothing. Don't wait for anything. Don't wait for anyone. Just make it happen. You don't need expensive camera. I'm using my iPhone right now. You don't need an expensive microphone. Before, I didn't used to have microphone. 1 year later, I finally got one, but it took me like almost 12 months to get this microphone. You don't need anything fancy. Literally, all you need is that belief and maybe that energy of you wanting to do the thing and just making it happen. That's all that I can say. But I hope this episode was helpful for you guys. I hope I gave you that little push, that little motivation, that extra something that hopefully is going to help you to do that thing that you've been wanting to for a long time. Do that thing that you truly want to do, and do that thing that you have promised yourself you've been wanting to for a long time. And something else I want to mention before I forget. If you promise yourself something, do it. There's nothing worse and there's nothing more disappointing to yourself if you promise yourself that you're going to do this thing and then you don't do it. Because if you keep doing that, if you keep doing this pattern of, I promise I'm going to do this, it's just myself. No one's watching, no one cares, whatever, I'll get it done next time. If you keep in that loop or in that cycle, nothing is going to happen. Literally nothing's going to happen, because it's just yourself, right? Like, who cares? No one's watching. But you have to do the things even when no one is watching. And I'm sure you've heard this so many times. You're probably telling like, Dani, come on. That's so cliche. I think that's a word. Maybe it is, but it's also true. If you promise yourself you're going to do this thing, make it happen. Don't wait for anything. Don't wait for anyone. Make it happen. So we touched a little bit about the motivation of the reasons behind me running my own business. I told you guys a little bit more of the challenges, and I told you what my goals are for the future next year and what I'm doing right now. And that's pretty much everything. I really once again hope that this episode can help you. I really hope that you enjoyed this. Something a little bit different, something that I don't normally do in a different environment, right here on my couch. Thank you so much, guys, for listening or for watching this. If you like this episode, please share it on your social media and tag me at Daniela del Carpio. Until next time, and as I always say, don't ever stop believing in yourself. Ciao.